Hello students, आज हामी पढ्ने वाला छ weavers, iron smelters and factory owners lesson 3. Okay, so India is among the top 10 highest producers of steel in the world today. So आज हाम्रो इन्डिया चाहिँ स्टिल प्रड्युस गर्नुमा चाहिँ टप 10 मा आइन्छ. So do you know any companies that produce steel in India? तपाईहरुलाई कुनै कम्पनी याद छ जसले चाहिँ इन्डियामा स्टिल प्रड्युस गर्छ? ओके सो नाउ यता एक दुईवटा इक्जाम्पल्सहरू छ है, जस्तै टाटा स्टिल अनि स्टिल अथोरिटी अफ इन्डिया लिमिटेड और एसएआइएल. यिनीहरू चाहिँ हाइएस्ट प्रड्युसर्स अफ स्टिल इन आवर कन्ट्री, द्याट इज इन्डिया. During the late 19th century, India was importing steel that was manufactured in Britain. In 1914, because of the First World War, imports of British steel in India declined dramatically as British produced steel had to meet the demands of war in Europe. Okay, so during the late 19th century, India स्टिलहरू चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ म्यानुफ्याक्चर भएको हुन्छ ब्रिटेनमा त्यो चाहिँ इम्पोर्ट गर्ने गर्थ्यो है. तर इन 1914 त्यो फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वारले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ इन्डियाले चाहिँ स्टिलहरू चाहिँ लिनु सकेन उता ब्रिटेनबाट, किनकि त्यहाँनिर चाहिँ ड्रामेटिकली रिड्युस भएको थियो है, एज ब्रिटिस प्रड्युस स्टिल ह्याड टु मिट द डिमान्ड्स अफ वार इन युरोप. अनि युरोपमा वार चल्दै थियो र त्यहाँको डिमान्ड मिट गर्नुको लागि चाहिँ उहाँहरूको लागि नै सफिसियन्ट थिएन र इन्डियामा चाहिँ स्टिल इम्पोर्ट भएन. Okay, so Indian Railways required iron and steel to build rails in India and TISCO met this demand. अब हाम्रो इन्डियन रेलवेजमा चाहिँ आयरन चाहिन्छ, स्टिल चाहिन्छ है रेल्स बनाउनको लागि, अनि यो डिमान्डहरू चाहिँ टिस्कोले फुलफिल गर्यो. अनि बाई 1919 द कोलोनियल गभर्मेन्ट वाज बाइङ 90% अफ द स्टिल म्यानुफ्याक्चर्ड बाई टिस्को. अनि बाई 1919 चाहिँ अब कोलोनियल गभर्मेन्टले चाहिँ अलमोस्ट 90% अफ द स्टिल चाहिँ टिस्कोबाट किन्नु थाल्यो. अनि ओभर द टाइम टिस्को चाहिँ बिगेस्ट स्टिल इन्डस्ट्री विदिन द ब्रिटिस एम्पायर भयो. Tata Steel Company or TISCO has been producing steel in India since 1912. Let us see what the Indian iron and steel industry looked like before the Tatas. So this is the picture. तपाईहरुले त हेर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. Okay, so what were some of the uses of iron before the British colonized India? तपाईहरुलाई के लाग्छ कि आयरनको युजेसहरु चाहिँ के थियो होला before British colonized India? Okay, before the colonial period, iron was mostly used for making tools, weapons, and building ships. Okay, so जब India got colonized, right? जब India got colonized or before India got colonized, आयरनहरू चाहिँ मोस्टली टुल्स बनाउनु या कुनै हतियार बनाउनु या शिप्सहरू बनाउनुमा चलाउँथ्यो. Okay. Tipu Sultan, who ruled Mysore till 1799, fought 4 wars with the British and died fighting with his sword in his hand. The sword was special because it had an incredibly hard and sharp edge that could easily rip through the opponent's armor. Tipu's sword was made from a special type of high carbon steel called woods. This steel was produced all over South India. Okay, अब हामी the woods method जानौँ है त. Okay, so Francis Buchanan, a physician, visited Mysore in 1800 and left an account of the technique by which wood steel was produced in many hundreds of smelting furnaces in Mysore. So furnace Buchanan जो चाहिँ फिजिशियन हुनुहुन्छ उहाँले चाहिँ 1800 मा मैसूर भिजिट गर्नुभएको थियो र उहाँले चाहिँ वुड स्टिलको टेक्निक सिकाएर जानुभयो. Okay, so iron was mixed with charcoal and put inside furnace. The smelters then applied heat and produced steel bars that were used for sword making. The furnaces were most often built of clay and sun-dried bricks. The smelting was done by men while women pumped air into the fire that kept the charcoal burning. This method of producing steel was followed in India, West and Central Asia. Every district had smelters who used local deposits of ore to produce iron, which was widely used for the manufacture of implements and tools of daily use. So by the late 19th century, the craft of iron smelting was declining है कम्ती हुँदै थाल्यो अनि most villages गाउँ बस्तीमा the use of furnace was reduced and the production of iron also decreased. Okay, so the use of furnace reduced and the production of iron decreased. What could have been the reason for this? इसको reason चाहिँ के लाग्छ कि तपाईलाई furnace चलाउनु या production of iron चाहिँ decrease भएको कारण? Okay, so here are few reasons. Firstly, the government laws. The colonial government ruling India prevented the iron smelters from entering forest and hence they could not get the wood for making charcoal. Okay, so आयन स्मेल्टर्सहरूलाई चाहिँ आयन स्मेल्टर्सहरूलाई चाहिँ जङ्गलमा पस्नु दिन्थेन है किनकि अब जङ्गलमा गएर वुडहरू कलेक्ट गरेर दाउराहरू कलेक्ट गरेर लिएर आउनु पऱ्यो सो द्याट दे क्यान मेक चारकोल एन्ड मेक द आयन है तर दिस वाज नट अलाउड त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ फर्नेस चलाउनुको रिड्युस भयो. Second one is taxes. The government levied heavy taxes on the use of furnaces and this reduced the income of the smelters. अर्को चाहिँ ट्याक्स है गभर्मेन्टले चाहिँ यति साह्रो बेसी ट्याक्स चाहिँ हालिदियो कि जसले चाहिँ फर्नेस चलाउँछ अनि यो हेभी ट्याक्सको कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ इन्कम पनि कम्ती भयो स्मेल्टर्सहरूको. Imports from Britain. By the late 19th century, most of the iron was being imported from England and this reduced the demand for local smelters. अब late 19th century तिर चाहिँ आयन चाहिँ पुरा इम्पोर्ट गर्नु थाल्यो इम्पोर्ट मतलब बाहिरदेखि लिनु थाल्यो है इङ्ल्यान्डदेखि लिनु थाल्यो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ this reduced the demand for local smelters. So here we'll see some group discussion. Would the situation of textile and iron ore industry in India have been different if it had not been colonized by the British? Give reasons with example. Okay, so यो चाहिँ तपाईहरुले होमवर्क गर्नु पर्यो.